The Celebrity Cab Driver, a story by E.B.'s Heart. As a celebrity cab driver, I make 20 million a month, JK said on a live interview, and everyone was wowed. He said he charged between 500,000 to 1 million on a trip. I only move at night, and I carry celebrities or influential people to odd places. I wait for them the whole night, and they pay me very high too. JK had houses almost in every city in the country. He had hotels, nightclubs, and restaurants. Everyone believed him and even envied him. They all tapped from his blessings. He even organized online classes to teach young men on how to become successful cab drivers. But in reality, he was into something so shady and mysterious. One of his houses was used for business, as he told the public. In that house, there was constant electricity, loud music, and air conditioner, but no one was living there. JK visited the house once every week. The fence of the house was so thick and well built. The gate of the house was so thick and as tall as the fence too. He placed a surveillance camera outside the gate and locked the gate with one of the best security systems in the world. So one evening, JK drove out as usual to work. He drove to a local nightclub around 10 p.m., waiting for clubgoers to close. He disguised himself with thick beards, face cap, and glasses, and drove a very simple car with a taxi sign on top of it. When he saw that people had started coming out drunk and wasted, he drove closer to the entrance, pretending to be a poor regular cabman. "Cabman, are you going?" a young man drunkenly said while hitting his glass. "Yes," JK replied, hiding his face. "How much is for Thai Street?" the young man said and pushed two drunk girls into the back seat. JK smiled coldly and said, "Just 2K. 2K. Are you sure you heard me?" "I said for Thai Street," the young man said, looking at him. The young man, even though he was drunk, asked in surprise. JK was about to say a higher price to at least appear legit when the young man said, "Go, just go, I will pay the 2K. JK quickly moved out of the place, very happy. "I got 3 at once. The 3 fools that will fetch me millions," he thought happily. He drove for some minutes and wore his mask when he noticed that his passengers were in deep sleep. He sprayed something from a small container, and gas filled his car, causing his passengers to fall into a deeper sleep. He drove into the bush to where he parked his luxurious car with tinted glass, and parked the car he claimed to be using for his cab business. He transferred his sleeping passengers into the posh car and drove off. He drove straight to his business house. Once inside the house, he brought the 3 passengers in and placed them in separate rooms. He didn't bother locking their rooms because they wouldn't be waking up until hours later. JK then left them and went upstairs. When he got to the big parlor upstairs, he entered the sacred room, knelt down, bowing his head, and said, "I am back with the biggest gift." "They are 3, he said and laughed heartily. Immediately he said that, a very loud noise like something was vibrating filled the whole house, followed by a loud voice. "You took so long," the voice said angrily. The voice that answered wasn't coming from a visible person. Instead, the sound seemed to vibrate out of the walls of the room themselves. As the noise died down, a hidden door in the parlor slowly opened, showing a very big room filled with mannequins dressed in real cloth and standing beside each other. From afar, they looked like ordinary mannequins, but when you go closer, they were human beings, turned into mannequins by JK. JK had a secret room that turned people into mannequins while they were alive. After turning them into mannequins, he sold them to the rich and successful people who used them for ritual. He could sell each mannequin as high as 30 million, depending on the age of the victim. He was coming down when he heard the sound of the door of one of the rooms opening. One of the girls woke up and was heading towards the door she saw open at the back of the house. JK saw her and was shocked. How did she wake up so soon and even run out? He quickly rushed to press a button, and all the floor in his compound opened. His compound was a sealed swimming pool filled with hungry crocodiles. So, as the girl was rushing to open the door, a crocodile was already outside the door, waiting for her. The girl who didn't know what was waiting for her outside that door continued running. But when she tried to run out of the door, a big crocodile rushed at her, and its finger sliced her leg, making blood to start trickling down on the floor. She was lucky to jam the door fast and fell on the ground crying, while JK laughed at her, saying, "There is no escaping here, so don't make it harder for yourself." But as he walked closer to her, another vibrating sound was heard almost all over the house, with the voice coming from the sacred room echoing angrily, "She doesn't belong here. Take her out of here now. Her blood must not be spilled here." JK was shocked while he looked at the girl and wondered what was so special about her. But as he was waiting, he started hearing loud chatter upstairs as if some people were fighting. He rushed upstairs in fear and noticed that the noise was coming from the mannequins. He rushed and opened the door where they were kept, and they turned at once to look at him. "If she doesn't leave this property this minute, the entire mannequins will wake up and it will be a disaster," the voice shouted angrily again. JK rushed to the girl and hit her on the head. He then carried her out of the other secured door. That was where his car was parked, and there was no swimming pool there. He quickly wore the mask again and sprayed the gas in the car, knocking the girl off. He left the swimming pool open, closed all the doors, locked the doors of the other passengers, and zoomed off through his second gate. He looked at the time, and it was almost 4 a.m. People will soon start seeing us. What kind of trouble is this? He asked himself, driving very fast. I need to get to the bridge as soon as possible, throw her over, and rush back before these mannequins wake up, JK said, while panicking for the first time. But when he left, the mannequins continued making noise and hitting their hands on the door and wall. After a while, they stopped, but their noise woke the young man and the other lady up. They both tried to open their doors but could not. The young man, whose name was Cunnel, tried to remember what happened after he left the club but could not. He climbed the high wall and saw that he was in a very beautiful compound. But there was a pool everywhere. How come there is a pool around? He started shouting, hoping someone would hear him. After shouting for a while, the other girl, BB, who had just gotten herself, started shouting too. When they both heard themselves, they cried. "How did we get here?" BB asked, sobbing. Meanwhile, JK was trying to get to the bridge to throw the girl into the water before dawn. "I will throw her into the water so that I won't have to spill her blood, and she will pass on while inside the river." But the morning traffic was already building up, even though it was still a little dark. He managed to drive as fast as he could and got to the bridge. When he got there, he parked his car, looked around, and saw no one except cars that were speeding past him. He left his car ignition on and brought a big iron from the boot of his car, tied it on the girl, then dragged her closer to the side of the bridge to wait. He waited until no car was in sight, then he carried her up quickly and threw her in. But something unexpected happened. The cool breeze from the water made the girl wake up as she was about to fall into the water, so she screamed and held JK on the collar of his cloth, and before he could realize what was happening, he was already heading down into the water, screaming for help too. Everything went blank. JK didn't know what was happening again. He woke up later and started coughing and looking around. "Where am I?" he thought calmly. He was scared that whoever brought him there may know him, so he started coughing again. He slowly turned around and saw the girl lying beside him with her eyes closed. Wait, did she survive too? Oh my God, I am finished. What kind of human being is this? How did I get so unlucky? This particular girl has messed up my life, all my plans. Why do some people carry so much bad luck? I need to get back before the mannequins wake up. This strange girl's presence did something to the mannequins, because they have never moved. He was in deep thought and tears were rolling down his face while he was still coughing. His mind was occupied with the disaster that might happen if the mannequins ever made it to the sacred room, because if they do, they will all wake up, but they will not be normal when they do wake up. He remembered that his pool of crocodiles was still open and wondered what will happen if he doesn't go home immediately and close it. They might even come out and attack people. He was still in deep thought when his gaze met a man watching him with so much hate. He looked away, but the man started shouting and rushing towards him with a knife. He became really scared and wondered if the girl had said something. It was when the man said, "You tied an iron to a girl's leg and tried to throw her inside the river. How wicked can you be? I was watching you when you threw her, but I am happy she was strong enough to drag you in with her. By the time we finish with you, you will tell us what you were trying to do." Even though the day wasn't so bright, the girl's scream made me look properly from my boat. From the little flash of lights from the other cars passing, I saw someone trying to throw another person inside the river. I left my boat and dived into the water to save whoever that fell, and that was how I saved this man. Could you believe I almost drowned while trying to bring her out because this man tied a heavy iron on her leg? The fisherman narrated his story and charged at JK again. "Leave him, the news people and the police are already on their way here," another fisherman said, frowning and pointing his hand at JK. "News people, like journalists." JK thought and started begging them, but the men refused to hear please or sorry. "Just pray that this girl wakes up. She hit her head hard on the water and that has made her unconscious since we brought her out. If she doesn't wake up, we will expose you. I will give you people 50 million, JK said, crying. Another person heard him and slapped his mouth while saying, "Do you think we care about your money? We will lock you up. We are fishermen and the custodian of this river." On the night of that same day, JK tried to get up and noticed that he was tied to the wooden bench he was lying down on. He started crying but cleaned his face when the last man that shouted at him came and whispered, "I know who you are. But I will still pretend not to know you are the famous celebrity cab driver. That 50 million you mentioned earlier, is the offer still open?" The man asked, looking around to be sure no one was watching. "I will help you to escape. You know, you people always think that this small village of fishermen living under this bridge don't have sense, but if you try to double-cross me, I will expose you with evidence," the man said, frowning. JK swore on his life to even double it, if only the man could get him out as fast as possible. The man waited until midnight and released JK, saying, "Run, run, I have written all my account details for the money, they are all in your pocket. If you try to double-cross me, I will post all the videos of what you did here online," the man said with pride. JK ran as fast as he could. JK staggered in the darkness, his head bleeding, but he forced himself to keep moving. He didn't care where he was running to, he only wanted to get out from under the bridge. Every corner felt like a trap, but after many twists, he finally saw the steps that led up to the main road. He climbed fast, ignoring the pain in his leg, until he reached the top. His car and everything in it was gone. He stood there, scared and in pain. Cars sped past, horns were blaring, but no one paid attention to him. He waved desperately, but no one stopped. Breathing hard, he flagged down a bike and told him where he was going to. The bike man sped off to his house. When they got there, he asked the bike man to wait for his money since he didn't have any cash on him. Then he opened his gate with a password. He also closed the pool to enable him trap the crocodiles in. But when he got in, everywhere was silent outside. Since the house was soundproof, any noise from the inside could not be heard outside. He took cash from a box where he kept stacks of cash and rushed outside to give the bike man. But as he opened the gate, one of the crocodiles that didn't enter the pool charged towards him. He ran outside the gate in fear and told the bike man, who didn't know what was happening, to help him. The bike man innocently followed him inside, and he pushed him towards the crocodile. While the crocodile was busy, he rushed towards the gate to press the button that would open the pool again. The crocodile dragged the man inside the pool and ate him, and the pool turned red. He covered the pool again and ran inside his house to breathe down. But nothing prepared him for what he saw. The entire house had been trashed and destroyed by the mannequins. They were now partly humans but without a soul. They were more like zombies, moving around, looking for a way out. JK rushed upstairs to speak to the sacred room and ask for help, but met silence. He had been abandoned by the voice that gave him wealth and protection. "Where are you? Please help me," JK shouted, but got no response. The fear of failure and being found out was staring him in the face. He tried to run down the stairs but came face to face with the human mannequins. They were all trying to come upstairs and meet him. He ran inside one of the rooms and locked the door behind, trying to escape through the window, but could not. However, Connell and BB were so exhausted after screaming for help for hours. They were wondering who the people making the noise were. They didn't even notice JK's return. JK started calling his contacts for help, but it sounded like everyone had forgotten him. Meanwhile, the strange girl with the fisherman suddenly woke up. She started crying and narrating what happened to her and her friends. The men took her to the police, and the press got involved. The girl didn't know it was the famous celebrity cab driver until one of the men showed her the video of the man that threw her into the water. It wasn't long before JK's name was on every blog. The popular celebrity cab driver is a ritualist, all the captions read. The police, while looking at their register, were surprised they had never arrested him before. So many people had filed 1 or 2 complaints against JK in the past, but nothing was done about it. The cases were mysteriously forgotten. But because the veil of supernatural protection covering JK had been lifted, even his neighbors around the mysterious business house all started asking questions about the house with constant light and loud music. JK eventually managed to break out of the room he was hiding in. He ran to the balcony upstairs, locked the glass door against the human mannequins, and was trying to jump down from there when he saw the strange girl and the police at the gate. "Open this gate," the police shouted at JK. He tried to run back inside, but the human mannequins had already filled the place and were struggling to join him in the balcony. He was scared of jumping from the balcony because that would mean jumping on the glass covering the pool, and the crocodiles were swimming around, looking for what to eat. But the human mannequins were already breaking the glass to meet him there. He decided to take chances with the human mannequins instead of the crocodiles. After all, they are not even complete human beings, he thought. He hid under the chair in his balcony and was praying for them to come out and jump off the balcony. If they jump and the crocodiles start eating them, then I can jump and run away, he told himself. While all these were going on, the entire street, who seemed to be unaware of the house before, came out to see what was happening. Some were even asking why they had never noticed the house before now. The police were also trying to go into the compound. They didn't even know that there were crocodiles in the pool inside the compound. JK was hiding and sweating when the human mannequins broke the glass door leading to the balcony, and everyone watching them from outside shouted, "What is that?" They look like human beings and also look like mannequins. They were stiff and didn't move flexibly like normal human beings. JK was shocked when the chair he was hiding under was flung away by the human mannequins. They dragged him out and all started tearing him limb from limb and eating him. They were very hungry. By the time they were done with him, there was no trace of him left again. Instead of jumping down as JK had thought, they all went downstairs, crying and moving about aimlessly. After much effort, the police and the neighbors brought down part of his fence since his gate was too secured to be broken down. They saw the glass pool with crocodiles moving around in it. Everyone was shocked, and the attempt to break into the house began. The strange girl insisted that her friends were still inside. When the police managed to break down the entrance door, all the human mannequins rushed out at the people, trying to attack them. The stampede caused by the human mannequins broke the glass cover of the swimming pool, and crocodiles joined in the attack. Everyone ran away for their safety while screaming in fear. The strange girl wanted to run inside and save her friends but could not, as everywhere was filled with human beings that looked like mannequins and were bloodthirsty. The 3 crocodiles were also moving about to attack. The crocodiles were not attacking the human mannequins because they were not fully human. The policemen were forced to use guns on the crocodiles and the human mannequins. Within an hour of raining gunshots, everything was down and quiet. The crocodiles, the human mannequins, all were on the floor. After that, the strange girl ran inside the house and pressed the buttons on the door of the rooms her friends were locked in. Connell and BB were rushed to the hospital. The news of the celebrity cab driver's evil circulated the whole country, And so many families whose relatives were missing came there to check if they would find their loved ones amongst the human mannequins. People were shocked and couldn't believe he was a ritualist, using people to make money. Whenever you see some people flaunting their wealth online, slow down on your wish to be like them, because some of them do unspeakable things to stay afloat. Most times, you will notice that the figures some say they make don't add up. Secondly, mind how you move around at odd hours in the name of having fun, because night crawlers are always their target.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.